Throughout my entire academic career, I got consistently decent grades because I did the bare minimum of just turning in assignments when they were due. But of course, I'd occasionally slip up, you know, I'm human, everyone makes mistakes. And in those situations, I always did what every cornered animal does. I lashed out, I showed my teeth, and I threw the Hail Mary. So I'd always try and weasel my way out or buy extra time through a little white lie, coming up with an excuse. I'd always try the classics like, "Hey professor, I'm sorry, my report's not ready today, I'm gonna need a little extra time. Last night, I found my brother lying face down in a pool of his own vomit. As you know, he struggles with alcoholism, and he was about to meet his maker, so I had to improvise a saline drip solution in order to save his life, and things just got away from me, and I ran out of time." You know, I just try it because, why not? There's no reason not to at least try and come up with an excuse to get a little extra time out of the assignment. But you know what there's never an excuse for? Drunk driving. Yeah, you bet your sweet bippy, all of that was to say, I have no fucking respect for drunk drivers at all. I think it's inexcusable, I think it's unforgivable. Like, there's just never any justification for driving drunk. Especially not in today's world, where there's like Uber, Lyft, there's like 1,000 ways of just getting a ride home. Like, Jesus Christ, you could probably find someone on Craigslist that's giving piggyback rides out for 10 bucks. Like, there's just always a better way that doesn't involve driving drunk. And the reason I'm talking about that today is because a TikTok star named Amanda Caravala just lost her whole influencer career because a very embarrassing video has now hit the internet of her DUI that she received last year. It's fucking rough. I just saw a lot of people talking about it. I don't know the TikTok star, but it's apparently a pretty goofy video. So I wanted to at least see a little bit about it. It's nothing crazy. Okay, I'm still gonna give it a chance. This intro is going so hard for no reason. Makes me feel like I'm watching Miami Vice. What seems to be the problem, officer? How long are we just gonna stay? I mean, I think we can safely assume she's sleeping here. Maybe knock on the window. Are we timing her? Yeah, it looks like everything's okay here. Oh my god, wait, there's more police officers. Oh, you can't see it. It's behind my webcam. There's more police officers right here. Man, this whole block was popping off here. Damn. Everyone's catching the heat out here. I think we can establish that this is no condition to be driving in. She's missed a full cycle already. They might run if he wakes her up. That's a really good point that I didn't think about. That was actually a good point. So what's the proper protocol here? Slash her tires so she can't? Like, we're gonna have to wake her up eventually. We can't just let her sleep here all night. Oh. I see, so that was the play.
Whoa, whoa. Wake up! Put it in park!
Put the car in park!
Put the car in park!
She's like a zombie.
Police department, put the car in park!
Holy shit.
Wake up!
What is happening in there? This reminds me of the scene from the Resident Evil movie where there's that guy who says, "Don't open the door," right before he gets like his head blown off.
Come park over here.
Yeah, Amanda's having a real tough time here staying in this corporeal realm. Every time she starts dozing off, her jaw just falls to the floor like a Dementor about to suck out some happiness. It is like actually kind of disturbing to look at. I've been super drunk, like turbo intoxicated, and I can't recall any videos of me ever looking like that. Like, that is a different level where like your jaw muscles stop responding to you. So this could be more than just alcohol. Of course, I'm not there testing her blood or going over toxicology reports. I'm just speculating as a pea-brained fucking idiot observer over here. It just looks really weird that her jaw is doing its absolute best to escape her face. She starts looking like the monster from the Amnesia game. Man, this is rough. Holy shit, how long do we stay in this standoff?
Would you mind opening the door for me?
Break the window? I'm surprised they haven't. Hey, there we go.
Excellent. There we go.
Oh,
hey,
hello.
It's the police department.
Hey, what's going on?
Take your seatbelt off.
How fast was I going?
Show where you're at.
They're both, yeah, checking out the seats. I think you guys are like shit, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Relax for a second.
What happened?
Do you know where you're at?
Yeah?
Where?
At the decision.
At the what?
I still live in.
At the what?
At the decision that.
Go step over here. Hey, we're gonna go over here. Go over.
At the what? What did you? The Abin Simon? Holy shit! Damn, she is fucked up.
A bunch of cop cars.
Nice, astute observation.
Alright, come over here. Hello.
Maybe she's sober.
What's your name?
Amanda.
Amanda, what's going on tonight?
He's talking to her like a dog.
Cop car.
Yeah. Yeah, that you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me?
Yes. How much have you had to drink tonight? How much have you had to drink tonight?
Nothing.
Be honest.
What time is it?
3 o'clock.
Okay, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, how much have you had to drink?
3 o'clock. I've had 3 o'clock to drink tonight.
Okay. Alright, so my next question to you... Alright, man.
Can't argue with that, to be fair. That was a pretty good checkmate.
Anything medically wrong with you? Are you diabetic?
How am I supposed to track your finger with just my eyes when my kids' cars are moving over here?
Okay, alright, so kids' cars? Okay. Do you want to face this way?
Yeah, what is she seeing? My kids' cars? This is like in Looney Tunes where when someone gets hit with a mallet over their head, they're seeing like stars and little Tweety birds flying around in circles. This is... what the fuck? Yeah, this is like beyond faded. No, I'm sorry for the mistake, ma'am. Please, continue on your way. Seems we were wrong.
No shit!
Oh boy.
No shit!
Now we've reached that stage of being drunk where it's just loud and angry. Well, she either got banned or doesn't have an account on here anymore. Now, Amanda Caravala wasn't like a super duper TikTok star, but she had almost 2 billion views on the platform before, I'm assuming, being removed from it, or maybe she got laughed off the platform once this video was released. I'm really not sure on the timeline there. But if you want a little more information on the case, this video is actually from 2021, and she pled guilty and was sentenced to 12 months probation and 6 days of community service, and then paid about $2,000 in fines. So overall, she got off pretty easy. Even though she wasn't involved in an accident or there are no victims, at least not that we know of, I still think that this is light sentencing, but of course it could be my own bias because of how much I despise the act of drunk driving. It's needlessly dangerous and endangers not only the driver's life, but anyone in their car and anyone in any car around them. It's fucking ridiculous. So she got off super easy. Like, I mean, goddamn. When they asked her how much she had to drink, her reply was 3 o'clock. She's had 3 o'clock to drink. Do you know how much that is? If you convert that into fluid ounces, that's like 5,000 beers. Like, that is an incredible amount of alcohol she's consumed. Like, her BAC must have been like a 10.0. Oh yeah, I also didn't show it in the video here, but I'll just explain it to you. Towards the end of her arrest, she kept asking for someone named Mike Davis to show up to the scene, as if she was like trying to summon Batman. Like, she repeatedly asks for some vigilante named Mike Davis who apparently works for that police department. And that got a big giggle out of me because I love to imagine, like, Mike Davis hears his name being called somewhere and he hops in his car and his cruiser, turns on the siren, scoots in sideways and gets out like an action movie hero and says, "All right, boys, I've got it from here. You're safe now, Amanda." Like, I just have to imagine, like, she must have known of someone loosely in the police department and just tried her best to, like, get out of this by dropping his name, to no avail. Still getting arrested. And then she makes a huge hoopla in the car on the way there. But yeah, I just wanted to show this because I think this is an instructive moment on how your entire online career can be undone with one horrible decision. And not only that, a decision like drunk driving could just straight up end your life. One bad decision like that could just straight up fucking kill you. That's not an exaggeration. That shit happens all the time. Fuck drunk driving. Don't do it. A little PSA. That's about it. See ya. I saw a Bodycam video today that had such a weird story to it that I just found myself on the edge of my seat. And it's not because it was some kind of high-octane pursuit or anything. It wasn't like Dukes of Hazzard style or, you know, them chasing someone who's ramping their car off of a parked tow truck as, like, rockets fly out of the top or anything. It wasn't exactly a spectacle. In fact, on paper, it's probably one of the most boring things you could imagine for a body cam video. They pull over a man on his bike because he didn't have a rear reflector. Like, that's not exactly like, you know, jaw on the floor, like biting at your fingernails type action or anything. That's about as exciting as trying to arrest someone for forgetting their library card, right? But this was just the first domino to fall that led to a crazy story that ultimately concludes with everyone learning that the guy on the bike is actually a fugitive who's been on the run for almost 30 years, a convicted rapist who escaped and fell off the grid, and now they've found him because of his bike not having a rear reflector.
You gotta have a rear reflector on your bike, my man, if you're gonna ride on the roadway. So, what's up?
Oh, okay.
So, and then if you're gonna ride at night, you need a front light. I'm sure you know that,
Yeah.
but you got an ID on you real quick, just so I can say a stop to talk with you?
With me.
Okay. Can I get your,
Greg Stallings.
Greg Stallings, is your name?
Gregory.
Introducing the man formerly known as Gregory Stallings. We'll soon learn that this is just an alias, an Xbox Live gamer tag. Now, it's not hard to fake a name, anyone can do that. I could go around calling myself Jerichomo Double Chin, but I don't have an ID to prove it, though if you're like confident enough with what you're saying, a lot of people will just believe you. So, he'd been able to get by going by Gregory Stallings and even had a social security number to give the officer.
I think I wrote something down wrong. What's your full social? Perfect. Yep, hang tight for me. Gregory, I'm still not getting that back. Are you sure that's right?
I'm pretty sure. I've been a long time since I had to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the social didn't turn up anything either. It's very easy to make up numbers. You can make up a social as well just by spouting some random fucking numbers. However, you'll soon learn that he's not just making up information. It's actually much deeper than that.
If you're riding your bike and someone rear ends you,
Oh, yeah.
and then they can kind of
say
point
they
the blame
didn't see no
because the
sticker.
reflector.
Yeah.
And I hate that because it's like, no, it's
I understand that.
copy. Can we try a soch? And I'm also with our traffic unit, so I do all our accident investigations.
Okay.
So whenever bikes are involved, it almost always is way worse than.
Yes, it usually hits you from behind.
Yep.
Now, when I first saw the headlines of this story, I wondered, how common is it for officers to even bother pulling over someone on a bike for something as simple as this? To me, that just sounded like fishing for an arrest to meet like a quota or something where you get like a nice gold star for an additional arrest on something small. Because it sounds very simple, right? It just sounds like something they wouldn't even take the time out of their day to do. It'd be like if the cops started chasing you down and fucking pit maneuvered you on the way to the grocery store, guns blazing, "Get the fuck out of the car! We saw that you put the Hatsune Miku box in the garbage instead of the recycling. You're out of line!" You know, just something like really simple. But when the officer explains it, it makes a lot more sense. So he explains that he doesn't arrest people for this. He just pulls them aside, lets them know, like, hey, you should have the rear reflector on because if a car hits you, they could point the blame on you for not having it. It's just safer if you do have it. And he just explains that it's really just him letting them know and nothing beyond that. But he still has to go through standard protocol of confirming that the person is who they say they are, which I think makes total sense.
But I haven't had a driver's license in years. I haven't.
Copy. Can you try running him through Florida? How long have you been living up here then? Just think of this, what state. I can get you through any state even if it's really old, so I know it's been a while.
Yeah,
Just try to
long
think.
time.
Yeah, try to think for me.
Sorry, I can't help you, dude. I'm sorry.
Where else have you lived? Have you ever had any other run-ins with any law enforcement for us? No?
They've reached a standstill here, so he has no identification, and the information he's providing isn't turning up any results. They then try and run him through Florida, because he had made a mention of Florida. I feel like you could also run anyone by Florida, and you'll find something fucking crazy. You'll probably find, like, Gregory Stallings was actually, like, a Florida conquistador who drank from the fountain of youth and now currently resides at Clearwater, right next to the Scientology church or something. Like, I thought once he said Florida, his goose was cooked, they'd find something, but they didn't. So now they're still just trying to figure out, okay, how can we confirm that you are who you say you are? And it's not really getting anywhere. He also then told them a story about how he got hit by a car, so his memory's a little foggy.
I'm just going to take your word for it, okay?
Okay, thank
All right.
you.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
I don't shake hands, sorry.
okay.
Yep, you're good. Drive safe.
The officer eventually just says, you know what, fuck it, we'll take you at your word for it, and he offers a handshake, which is immediately declined. I honestly, when he said I don't shake hands, I honestly thought the officer might go with like a, but I do high five, and he goes like, down low, too slow, walks away, puts on his fucking shades or something. So, even though Gregory Stallings has successfully de-aggroed the cop here. He's now outside of the dialogue trees. The officer still wants to get to the bottom of this because it is very odd that none of the information he provided turned up any results.
So what we're going to do for now while I keep investigating this is I'm going to take a picture of you and send it to our guy who has facial rec. So you pull your hat off and your glasses off. So, and both the socials you gave me come back to other people. One of them's deceased, the other one's a lady, so I don't think either of those are you.
No.
We have technology, so he's using facial recognition now to try and figure out who this John Doe is. So he takes a picture of him, gets him to pose like it's for some kind of fucking high school yearbook photo, sends it to the facial rec team, and then he's also informing the man that actually the information he provided with the socials goes to different people. One of them's dead and the other one is a woman. So now things are getting even more suspicious. He does keep reiterating that he doesn't want to arrest this guy, but he just needs to confirm his identity, so just do his best to remember the accurate information so they can both get on with their day.
You don't think you got warrants or anything, do you?
How far as I know, I don't.
Okay. Well, have you committed any crimes?
And
Well, besides...
no.
Yeah?
No. I'm not out trying to outrun the cops on my bike.
Okay. All right, brother. Time to be honest with me, okay? So the info you give me comes back to a dead guy. Gregory Stallings is dead.
And the associate, right?
And the Soch, yeah.
That he gave?
Yeah.
2-6.
So who are you? You're Gregory, you're just not dead?
I'm not dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
They're getting pretty confident that something smells fishy here. There's something awry, so they confront him saying, look, Gregory Stallings is dead. Imagine if that guy was just in like, dead? He just starts profusely crying, no! How did this happen? And then all of a sudden he just starts like fading away like a Thanos snap or something. He was actually just like a spirit that was tethered to this world, didn't know that he died. But anyway, regardless, they're telling him like, look, this is fucked up now. We know that there's something definitely afoot. What's going on? Just tell us the real information here. But he's sticking to his guns, saying that, no, he is Gregory Stallings, and it might just be a misunderstanding because he's been kind of off the grid for so long.
Could it just because I haven't been on anything for a long, long time?
They don't just declare people deceased because they haven't heard from them in a little bit.
Okay, I'm just...
Did anyone come back with the facial rec or nobody?
No, no hits.
No hits?
No hits. It said 2000 was the year of the death. Did you go missing in that year? Did you... Someone report you missing and then they just declare you...
I don't talk to my people in a long, 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 long time.
Not even Big Brother was able to nail him. Facial recognition came up nothing, empty-handed. So they're back in the field with nothing but their words to fight this battle and figure out who the fuck is this mystery man here. They then start speculating maybe it's a big misunderstanding and he perhaps went missing in the year 2000 when Gregory Stallings was pronounced deceased. Like maybe this is a fucking Hey Arnold Dino Spumoni moment where he faked his own death and he's still just out here. So they ask him, did you go missing? And he's like, well, no, I haven't talked to anyone in a really long time.
During the officer's phone call, he turns off his body cam and it cuts back into them, somehow discovering the fact that he is a convicted rapist on the run for the last 30 years.
I get it, brother. I mean, I see both of it and I understand it. Yo, none of us are mad at you. I'm just baffled that law enforcement has let you go for 30 years and not push the issue.
They cut out the part where they discover the truth. Like, that is literally removing the climax of this whole situation. It'd be like watching a Sherlock Holmes film and they take out the part where they piece everything together to get the conclusion. That's so fucking stupid. What? So apparently, they somehow were able to figure out that this guy is not Gregory Stallings. Instead, he's this convicted rapist from the 80s who escaped in 1995 and has been on the run ever since. That's like a crazy amount of like breadcrumbs to put together, and they don't tell you exactly how that came about. That's fucked up. Like, I've said this for a long time. I think it is so fucking dumb that officers can willy-nilly turn on and off their body cam whenever they want. That, to me, defeats, like, the whole purpose of the body cam. If you can just turn it off at will. You read about that all the time in cases of like really fucking awful situations, and then mysteriously the body cam was turned off, or the body cam just happened to be turned off at that point. Like, it's so dumb. There should be protocol in place to prevent that from happening.
But then eventually VC showed up. VC said, hey man, cut the shit. Tell us your real name. He just told him his real name. I did that like 6 times.
This is the only information I could find about how they got to the bottom of it. So VC showed up, just said, cut the shit, and the guy just forked over all the information, I guess. Just vomited out all of the truth. So maybe it wasn't like a really elaborate investigation that led to them discovering this. I think it was just this guy showed up looking all hard-boiled and shit and just pressed him saying, like, we know you're lying, just tell us your real name and everything. And then the guy did.
Can you go to the bait shop, buy me a pack for $4.52?
I am really inclined to do that because you were honest with us. So what kind do you want?
The Crown Menthol 100.
I'm not going to remember that. Crown Menthol 100.
Yeah, just keep it, ask them for the cheapest menthol they got. And book matches too. I don't even have a light. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's old.
I do need a cigarette.
You have a light though?
No. That's why I'm saying tell them to give me a book of matches.
Okay, alright, just making sure.
Book of matches too.
Book of matches.
They're acting like best pals now. He even sends the officer grocery shopping for him to get cigarettes. I don't understand. He's like, yeah, you know what, I'm inclined to do that because you were honest with us. So he's rewarding him with like a fucking lollipop here, giving him the cigarettes. Maybe that was the deal they made, like, hey, look, pal, we know you're lying, and I'll go get you some cigarettes if you just tell us your real information. He's like, alright, bet, and then did so. It's also so weird how friendly they're being with this guy. They even in sync said book of matches together like some shit out of a buddy cop movie. But he's a convicted rapist. I've seen so many body cam videos where they're being unreasonably aggressive to people that are being cooperative and not rapists. Like, people that are, you know, getting busted on, like, super simple drug charges or something. They're like, you're the scum of the fucking earth. Listen, pal, you're lucky I don't run your fucking head on the pavement right now and curb stomp the shit out of you. And meanwhile, this guy, who's a rapist who escaped from a halfway house 30 years ago, they're like, yes, you want those cigarettes? Yeah, we can do that for you. But anyway, looking deeper into the George Hartleroad case, that's this guy's real name. He is not Greg Stallings. Huge twist. He is George Hartleroad. And he was convicted of rape in 1983. And in 1994, he escaped from a halfway house, and he's been on the run ever since.
They're going to, oh, we got him again. Oh, we caught him, we caught him.
You're not, everything, no, everything you said today has been 100% correct. I can't be mad about any of it, because you've been 100% correct, other than the dead guy's name.
I didn't even know the guy was dead.
Yeah, now you gotta find someone else.
Yeah, he died like 5 years later. He did not last very long.
He did.
So you better find someone else.
Well, that'd be easy, don't worry.
That'd be easy.
There was a brief moment during this where they weren't sure if they were supposed to arrest him, like if the state would still want him after all of this time. And eventually they concluded that, yeah, the state does still want him. And then they explained that he's going to need to take someone else's identity because the one he was using's been dead for so long. I think they were just joking about that. I don't think they're actually giving him, like, pro tips or anything on how to take someone else's identity. But he says it's easy to do that. So Greg Stallings was a real person. And apparently, George Hartleroad is pretty familiar with how to get that kind of information. Apparently, you can just get that at some homeless shelters. The other officer mentions that he was surprised he didn't just take it from someone's mailbox and piece it together that way. But then George explains that that'd be deeper shit because that's a much harder thing to do, or a more dangerous thing to do. So it turns out he wasn't just pulling names and numbers out of his asshole, he actually did have that information, which probably explains how he'd been able to get by for the last 30 years when needing to provide information for certain things. So it wasn't just an imaginary friend that he made up.
I will jump again as soon as they turn me loose.
You know, every time...
No, guys, they've been up in my ass for 30, 41 years now.
Yeah.
On a 9-year sentence.
Every time I think I kind of got an idea of what's going on, stuff like this, just like you could buy IDs at homeless shelters, and would never have thought.
He talks about his ass being pumped and then even makes like a quick villain monologue about how he will jump again. Like, you know, now he's going full mask off here. So they've got him, they arrested him, and it looks like he will be facing some punishment for the last 30 or so years after escaping.
I knew they'd want me. Well, I worked in their office at one time, and I'm the one that posted all the flyers in the thing at one time for them.
That's pretty much the end of the encounter. They then, shortly after that, put him into the car, and he just gives that last maniacal laughter, the mwahaha. He hits him with, like, that classic villain laugh. Like, he looks like a wizard, and it seems like something Saruman would have done once the plan started coming together. Like, he actually hits them with, like, an evil laugh at the very end there. So yeah, I saw this earlier today and just wanted to talk about it because it was just so interesting to me. That's really about it. So yeah. A drunk driving lawyer was recently arrested after flipping her car, and the footage from the arrest has just been released by a YouTube channel called Police Watch, and I thought it'd be fun to go over it because goodness gracious, heavens to Betsy, it is an interesting one. This lady is truly horrible.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you call?
I don't know where the girl is that was driving.
She's right there. Whose car is this?
That's my grandson's, and it was parked right here. He hasn't went anywhere all day. And
Is everybody okay?
yeah,
Okay.
everybody's
All right,
okay.
I'll just have you guys hang out over there for now, okay?
Now you're all brought up to speed with the lore here, the context of the situation. An intoxicated woman was driving her vehicle, hit a parked car, which caused her vehicle to flip and land on its side. This actually looks like something out of GTA when you ramp off of a parked tow truck, but you don't fully land the stunt.
Hello.
Hi.
Looks like you might have crashed your car, huh?
Oh my gosh. Hi. Yeah, I'm Rachel. Nice to meet you.
Rachel? Eli, nice to meet you. What's going on? How'd this happen?
I don't know.
Almost immediately, this officer had me giggling because he's speaking to her like he's speaking to a puppy. Like, oh, hello there. Oh, well, what's going on? You got a toy? What's happening over here? And then we're introduced to our protagonist, Rachel. And when asked what happened, she goes for the tried and true method, a timeless classic, playing dumb. Geez, oh man, boy howdy. I don't know how this happened. What is the car doing on its side? That can't be right. What a confounding mystery we're faced with, eh, officer?
You're not sure?
Yeah,
It's your car?
this is my vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously.
Well, how did it end up on its side? Do you know? Did it just...
I mean, obviously it didn't just
Right.
play itself.
I see a kid's seat. There wasn't a kid in here when this happened,
No,
was there? Okay.
no children in here. Obviously, this didn't just happen by itself.
Right.
So that,
Were you driving it?
You're going to quickly realize that obviously is Rachel's favorite word in the English language. She uses the word obviously more than a teenager uses the word like. It started to lose meaning for me with how often she was saying it during this video. But she's trying to explain that it is her vehicle that's ended up on its side, but she doesn't really understand how it happened. Obviously, something must have happened. But what? We've got to get to the bottom of this, officer. We got to figure out how my car ended up like this. Perhaps a strong gust of wind? Spontaneous tornado? Unlikely. But what about Godzilla stomping around causing a bit of shaking on the road, which caused my car to pop up on two wheels, Dukes of Hazzard style, and just flip? I don't know, officer. There's a lot of things that could have led to this, obviously.
I obviously was driving the vehicle.
Okay.
So, I mean, do you,
Go ahead.
do you
Just need the
always
one
ask
for
redundant
Adam Tor's victory.
questions, or you just ask questions?
I just ask questions. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, that's all.
Yeah,
It's
I mean-
Rachel, right?
It is, Rachel. It's nice. Yeah. I was just driving down the road. And then on
10-4, can
the
you run it?
vehicle.
So were you driving this way?
Yeah, obviously. That's the way the vehicle's facing.
Why do you
So,
keep saying obviously?
well, I mean, I think
The officer's asking too, why do you keep saying obviously? He just rolled up to the scene. Pulling up to a scene with a fucking rolled over car on its side isn't exactly the most normal thing ever. That's not something that just spontaneously happens. Especially on like a not busy residential street with nothing around. This is a fucking barren, empty area here. It's like she just crashed outside of Courage the Cowardly Dog's house in the middle of nowhere. So clearly the officer doesn't know all of the details around how this could have possibly happened. So he's asking you. I don't know why she's so combative already. I mean, obviously, I know why she's so combative, because she is annihilated. She is extremely drunk. There's no telling where the alcohol stops and the blood starts in her body anymore. She is doing her best to try and find some way of weaseling herself out of this situation. A car turned on its side here isn't just some, like, random thing that happens. So her going, obviously I was driving in this direction, there was a car, and, well, one thing leads to another, and now look at the pickle we're in. Yeah, you know, it happens all the time. Why are you making a big deal out of it, officer? Do you always ask such redundant questions?
Everything with the scene is pretty obvious, so...
Okay.
I don't think there's much left to...
I guess, did you just not see the car on the side of the road, or how did it end up getting hit?
There was no car on the side of the road.
There wasn't?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Rachel, I am looking at the car on the side of the road that you hit. It's still right there. It hasn't despawned. It's sitting right there. You looked at it. The officer shined a light at it. Did she drink herself blind or something? What are you talking about? The car you hit is still right there, staring you in the face, staring a hole through your soul. I don't know why she's trying to, like, pretend it's not there.
There was a car driving this way. I was clearly driving in my lane.
Okay. Go ahead.
She's trying to cast like a genjutsu on the officer here to convince him that there was another car driving and that's the one that's actually at fault. Clearly she was in the correct lane, like a good law-abiding citizen and a very not drunk good driver. And then all of a sudden things went cattywampus and it's all that other driver's fault that was driving this way. And then the officer goes over to the vehicle that she hit, the parked car, and then she still tries to continue this ruse that she did everything right, and yet can't explain how her car ended up on its side. Oh my god. And the entire time she still stays so condescending, so insufferable.
Where are you coming from tonight, Rachel?
I was coming from my friend's house on the south of town.
On south of town?
South. Yeah.
Okay.
Super
was there anyone in the vehicle with you when this happened?
No, there was nobody with me, and I can tell you, like, there was obviously,
You had anything to drink tonight, Rachel?
no, I haven't.
Just be honest with me.
Well, I'm convinced she's stone cold sober. Well, now we just gotta find the guy who's responsible for flipping her car over, that hooligan, absolute scoundrel. I also don't understand what she started doing with her hands there. She just goes like, obviously, and then starts doing like a John Cena, you can't see me. So I don't know what she was trying to do there. It looked like she was about to bust out a fucking anime move with that one, or start going into like some crazy dance moves, like a body wave or something.
No,
it's not gonna incriminate you any further.
No, I know. Nope, no.
Nothing to drink, huh?
Not since 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
So I would say
a few hours then.
Yeah. Like,
what did you have at 6?
I had what we considered a beer cocktail, I guess.
How much alcohol would you say is in that?
It's a 4%. 4%.
Okay. And you just had one of them?
Yeah, it's just a fun.
A beer cocktail, Rachel. Do you think me a fool? Are you pulling my leg? A beer cocktail? Kind of fucked up alchemy is that? What kind of awful potion? You kidding me? That's the best you could come up with here? You expect anyone in the world to believe that you drank one beer cocktail? Jiminy Christmas. And you were doing such a great job with your acting performance. This display was immaculate. I was almost convinced, Rachel. I really was. If I couldn't hear the video, if I played it on mute, maybe. Every single word she has said, she hasn't been able to get out without it being slurred. She is unable to form a coherent sentence. She is lost in a fucking fantasy land right now, stranded in Narnia here, doing her absolute best to try and explain away how her car is on her side, when I am pretty sure she doesn't even know how it happened because she is so fucking drunk.
Okay. We're at a fantasy football draft tonight.
That explains the jersey. You a Cowboys?
Yeah, that's why I'm in New Jersey. Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Right.
But yeah, I just had one cocktail. It was a
I don't know the brand name of the cocktail. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's not bad.
But I know it was 4% alcohol.
Don't worry, Rachel. I'll go ahead and dunk this alley-oop you've tossed me. I think I know what the brand name was of the cocktail you consumed. Was it perhaps a Liar's Light? Or what about a untruthful brew? You're a liar. What I'm saying, Rachel, is you are literally lying. This is ridiculous. You make me sick.
So here's the deal, Rachel.
So, here's the deal. I won't answer any more of your questions.
You're not going to answer any more of my questions?
No.
Okay. Well, you don't have to answer anything.
If you'd like to know... Nope. Actually, Rachel? I'll let you know what's going on from now. Because you've superseded your rights of asking me questions.
Hi, ma'am.
Oh shit, Rachel's in control now. She's taken the helm. She's in charge. She's got all the power now. Uh-oh. The tables have turned.
Nope. And so, any more questions you have, you can talk to my attorney.
Case closed. There's nothing they can do anymore. Rachel invoked the power of attorney, which obviously clears her of any wrongdoing with the drunk driving and hitting a parked car, flipping her vehicle on the road here. So, hey, it was a good try from the officers, but unfortunately Rachel proved to be too powerful, too knowledgeable on the law. And that's no doubt because she herself is a lawyer. A damn good one at that, too. Up there with the greats, like Saul Goodman and Billy Mitchell.
Phone, wallet, keys, anything like that?
No, honey.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Okay. You ready? Let's go.
Rachel refused to do any of the field sobriety tests. They arrested her on suspicion of DWI, and Rachel continued to be an insufferable asshole the entire time, even dropping one of those honeys in there. So, still condescending. It's actually pretty impressive how even in the midst of all of this, she continues to be an absolute asshole. It's actually kind of wild. I wonder what she's like sober. I bet this is her toned down. I bet when she's sober, she's like 10x this. Like when she goes to a Cowboys game, I bet she's like fighting with every single other fan in the stadium. Like she's going around just starting shit with everyone, spitting on them.
I mean, did you assume I was operating under alcohol, or had you been assured by some sort of test? You just assumed, right? Correct? And is our conversation being recorded?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Correct? So you assumed I was operating my vehicle. Correct? Is that correct? Yes or no?
Rachel, we're not going to have this conversation.
Okay, so that was correct, right? That's why you arrested me. You assumed I was operating my vehicle. Correct?
She spends a considerable amount of time in the back of the police car trying to mega mind her way out of this situation, a fucking Jimmy Neutron brain blast. So she's trying to reverse this, like interrogate them. Oh, you assumed I was the one driving the vehicle, correct? And yeah, yes, you admitted to that, Rachel. You yourself confirmed you were the one operating the vehicle, but I'm sure she's already forgotten that. Like, the only thing she's remembering consistently is her name. So she's already in a rough state, but she's trying her absolute best here to try and find the right dialogue tree option to get out of here, but it doesn't exist. And it is so annoying listening to her try this, like, you assumed I was under the influence, correct? You didn't administer any tests, correct? Even though they tried to, but she declined to do the tests. So yes, they're going by the very clear indicators that you are drunk with the way you're speaking, as well as the smell of alcohol on her breath. Now, I was honestly expecting her to try some very unhinged tactics here, like maybe making a secondhand smoke style argument like, okay, the smell of alcohol on my breath? Interesting. I only had one beer cocktail. Perhaps the reason that you're smelling alcohol so strongly from my breath is because all of my friends were drinking so much at the fantasy football party that my proximity to them coated my mouth, thus leading to this methodus of alcohol that you're smelling. I didn't drink anything more than one beer cocktail. I am not drunk. I am a victim of secondhand alcohol.
I won't talk anymore, dear. You never read me my Miranda rights or told me what I was under the arrest for. So I was looking for some clarification because my Miranda rights were never read, and you also never told me what I was under the arrest for. Do you remember that part? It's a bitch when you arrest a lawyer.
The amount of time she gets us with a bait and switch by saying, "I'm done talking," or "You'll just have to speak to my attorney from now on. That's it for me." Only to continue just fucking vomiting a bunch of nonsense is so wild. She just has this inability to shut the fuck up. She just keeps going and keeps being an insufferable asshole. Now she drops a bombshell here, a plot twist that Game of Thrones could have never even written, that has me scratching my head a little bit. It's a very interesting claim that I have to call objection on. She insinuates that she is a lawyer. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I haven't passed the bar, which means I can sniff out when other people haven't passed the bar as well. And oh brother, does she stink. She reeks of lying and deception here. I don't think she's a lawyer at all. I think what likely is the case is that she read a single Twitter thread from some pseudo-intellectual that tried to lecture about, here's how you get out of any situation involving the authorities. And then she's taking it as though she's some kind of knowledgeable lawyer or something now because of it. Because she is wrong on everything. She's saying that they didn't tell her what she's being taken in for, even though they explicitly told her that it's going to be for the OWI. Like, they made it very clear. She just immediately forgot because she is fucking hammered. And then she's talking about the Miranda rights not being read to her. And now take this with a grain of salt, because like I mentioned, I am also not a lawyer. But from everything I've read, they don't need to read you your Miranda rights until it is like a complete formal investigation. It's just everything you say before those rights are read can't be used by them.
We just kind of let you, like, walk into those things. But you didn't read me my Miranda rights, and you also didn't tell me what I was under arrest for. Do you remember that? And the best part was that was all on dash cam footage. I mean, it's okay. We all learn. The worst part is I'm not intoxicated, and I don't think there's anything else to say.
She tries to give almost like a supervillain monologue here. You fell for my trap. I let you all walk into it. It was all designed from my master plan, my scheme. And you fell hook, line, and sinker for it. But you know the worst part? I'm not even intoxicated. As she's like falling in and out of consciousness, not even able to remember what has and hasn't been said or what's going on. She's probably forgotten that she flipped her car. But yeah, anyway, I'll go ahead and stop it here. Like I always say, I have no respect for anyone who drives drunk. Just like cereal deserves milk, I think drunk drivers deserve to be shamed. So, I'm just doing my due diligence here. Big L for Rachel, and that's really about it. Glad no one was hurt. That's it. See ya. Have you ever seen a senator burglarizing her stepmother in the middle of the night, getting caught in the act, then arrested, then losing her position while facing felony burglary charges? Well, you're about to.
On April 22, 2024, Becker County Police Department in Minnesota received a 911 call reporting an active break-in. Little did they know, they would soon find out the suspect is an elected senator for the state of Minnesota.
When I read the title from Midwest Safety, I immediately pictured Senator Armstrong from Metal Gear Rising. Half expected to click into this video and get the monologue, "Nanomachine's son. Played college ball, you know. Could've gone pro if I didn't burglarize my stepmother." But it turns out that's not the case.
Becker County 911.
Somebody just broke into my house.
Oh,
They just ran down into my basement.
Did you get a look at him at all?
No, it was completely dark. I tripped over him. He was on the floor next to my bed. He ran downstairs into my basement.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, the burglar is a senator named Nicole Mitchell. Well, now former Senator Nicole Mitchell. And she, I think, holds the title of the most incompetent burglar in human history. This is some shit out of Home Alone. This is the not-so-wet bandit here. I don't know what the thought process was. So apparently she was, like, hiding under or near her stepmother's bed, and her stepmother tripped over her, which is how she was alerted to her presence. And then she just, like, fucking pitter-patters her way to the basement to try and flee. So then the stepmother's like, what the fuck? What in tarnation? Calls the police, and she's like more confused than anything. Like, yeah, there's a burglar here. I tripped over him. He was like under my bed. I don't know if it was like a panty raid or what, but like they were under my bed, so I tripped over him. Would really love if you came and arrested them. They ran into my basement, I think.
I have a little steak knife in my hand right now.
Steak knife? Okay. All right.
I don't know where they could have. I don't see any.
She's clearly very frightened, like anyone would be in this situation. She's grabbed the steak knife to protect herself if things go south. I imagine she'd bust out some fucking Leon S. Kennedy level moves if, you know, the situation called for it, but luckily the police got there in a pretty timely fashion, it seems, because when they arrive, the burglar is still there.
Police department! Make yourself known! 37 back there, got a little motion underneath the stairs in the house. Sounds like he's trying to get outside of the back to the north of the house.
Get on the ground.
Okay.
Get on the ground.
Carol?
Yeah?
It's Nicole.
It's Nicole?
I was just trying to get a couple of my dad's things because he wouldn't talk to me anymore.
So they got her, and then the big reveal, the huge plot twist. She calls her stepmother by name, and the stepmother is shocked that it's her stepdaughter, Nicole. And she tries to explain that she was just there to get a few of her dad's things. Now that story is going to change a lot over the course of this adventure, but make a note of this. She's there because she just wants to get some of her father's belongings, which explains why she's in a cartoonish cat burglar outfit. It actually looks like she's going to a Halloween costume party, but couldn't think of any ideas, so stopped by Spirit Halloween and grabbed the cheapest burglar costume she could find for it. It is unbelievable how, like, cliche this outfit is. I am stunned to see a real burglary from someone dressed like this. I'm also shocked that she didn't just, like, bolt for the front door and run away. Instead, she trapped herself in the basement and just squatted there, literally just standing in the middle of the bathroom. I don't know if she tried to do, like, a Blair Witch staring at the wall or something, like, if I can't see them, they can't see me. I have no idea, but it was not the cleanest getaway. And speaking of clean, you need to clean yourself up using Cheeky soap. And great news, we just introduced a new scent into the family here, Bahami Mami. It's a tropical scent. It is fantastic, you're gonna love it, and you need to upgrade your hygiene. It's time, and this is the best way of doing it. Highly moisturizing body soap, best soap in the universe. Go to usecheeky.com and get some.
She also stole documents out of my house. She's my stepdaughter.
I didn't steal any documents. How did I steal documents?
Nicole, what's your last name?
Mitchell.
Stand up.
No one stole anything, Carol. I don't have anything on me.
If you want to talk. You got anything on you?
No.
Yeah, what a nonsensical thought process, Carol. Obviously no one stole anything. What an outlandish thought to even cross your head. Why would you even get the idea that there could have been a burglary taking place here just because I'm in your house unannounced in the middle of the night, hiding under your bed, dressed like I'm about to go rob a bank? What? Does that mean all of a sudden I'm here stealing something? No.
Why was she squatting down next to my bed?
Who is this to you?
Pardon?
Who is this to you?
She's my stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter.
She's also a Minnesota senator.
A great question, Carol. Why was she squatting down next to your bed? The world may never know. The Lord has no idea.
She lives in the Twin Cities.
Unknown to the officer at the time, the suspect previously was a meteorologist for the Weather Channel and a local news anchor before being elected a senator.
She's a senator?
Yeah. Yeah, was.
Was or is currently?
Well, she is. I meant after this.
Oh.
Her stepdaughter may have been a meteorologist predicting the weather, but Carol predicted the future here with this one, and she was right on the money. It is past tense. Nicole was a senator, but after this burglary, she is no longer, and is facing some super serious charges.
My husband passed away, just her father. And the day after he died, her aunt came here, and they walked out with all these, it was Tuesday.
Okay.
They were walking out the door with all these forms, and I ran out the door. I said, "What are you guys doing?" Nancy said, "We're just trying to help you, just trying to figure out where you are financially."
No, it's a...
So here's where breadcrumbs start to connect a little bit. Carol mentions that Nicole is very close to one of her aunts, and after her husband passed away, they came and took some documents from this house while saying that they're just making sure she's doing everything, you know, correct when it comes to finances. Which, that smells a little fishy. There's something stinky afoot there, and now all of a sudden Nicole is back unannounced in the middle of the night, dressed like a fucking thief class in an MMO.
My dad died last year. She's paranoid. Well, now she's really paranoid. But,
Has she done this before?
Not that, but she's insisted that my son should get nothing, she should get everything, all that stuff.
Where'd she come in at?
Get into my
You know?
I don't have a clue.
when everyone tried to help her right after the funeral.
She's not trying to help me, she's trying to get money.
She kept... I can show you my bank account.
Well, let's go upstairs.
So this is Nicole Mitchell's strategy. This is her go-to play here to try and weasel her way out of the trouble she's in. The crux of her argument for why she's there is that her stepmother is paranoid, and she's been mentally declining, and she's senile, doesn't understand things, so she's, you know, talking all crazy, all that paranoia. But Carol, I think, seems pretty sharp here in recognizing that Nicole is probably there for financial reasons again, because it seems like that's something that's happened in the past, granted not to this level. And Nicole just keeps harping on, like, no, she's just paranoid. As Nicole is literally dressed like a fucking burglar out of a Saturday morning cartoon in her house in the middle of the night looking to steal shit. I don't think that's paranoia. Paranoia indicates that there's some level of, like, delusion or, like, disconnect from reality. Carol is very grounded in reality. Nicole Mitchell is off in, like, fucking goober space.
Yep, there it is.
That window?
Over there, yep.
Okay. Is this her bag?
Must be. I don't know.
Yeah, stuck in the window.
I'm just hoping this mistake won't completely I know, I did something bad. After the funeral, my aunts tried to help her. She thinks they stole from her when they were just trying to get her affairs in order.
Okay.
She has progressively cut off the family.
They find a backpack half pushed through the window. They eventually find 2 laptops in that bag, which coincidentally, turns out Carol is missing 2 laptops. But we'll get to Nicole's excuse for that in a moment. She denies that the 2 laptops are Carol's. And now while talking to Nicole, she once again tries to harp on, like, oh, she's just, like, unreasonable, and she's just real out of it. She's gone loopy. She thinks everyone's out to get her, and so she's progressively cut off the family. To be honest with you, Nicole, I can see why she would progressively cut off the family here, considering one of the family members is breaking into her house in the middle of the fucking night, lying next to her bed doing, like, a tabletop challenge or something. It makes sense. I don't think it's paranoia. I think she made the completely correct call in cutting off this part of the family here. And she mentions the aunts, something Carol also mentioned without the 2 of them even communicating, so it's pretty clear that there is something going on with the aunts and Nicole and the finances here that Carol has after the passing of her husband.
Okay.
But she's got Alzheimer's, and she's gotten... I know this doesn't help. This is just going to prove the point. But she's gotten paranoid and thinks we're all out to get her and won't let anyone in the house. I just wanted to get a couple of my dad's mementos, and that's all.
Okay. So what kind of mementos?
A couple pictures and maybe one of his shirts.
So she's saying that Carol has Alzheimer's and thinks everyone's out to get her, and thus she broke into her house to get some of her father's mementos. Nicole, it does seem like you're out to get her, and I'm inclined to believe other members of the family are too, considering you've conspired with them to take some documents from her house. It does seem like she's 100% in the right to think that there are some members of the family out to get her.
Hi.
What's your name?
Nicole.
Are those laptops in your backpack yours?
Yes?
Okay. She's saying she's missing 2 laptops.
I mean, I can show you one. It's got my kid's Minecraft game on it.
Okay. What's the other one for?
I have one for work.
Okay.
She has Alzheimer's. She's been misplacing things. I can show you texts going back months saying, you know, things are missing, this and that.
I'm just asking, so it's not a reason to break anybody's house.
No, that wasn't my intention.
Already.
She decided to bring 2 laptops with her in the backpack to a burglary? It's an interesting plan. Her strategy, it escapes me, but I'm not a galaxy brain, you know, mega mind level intellect like Nicole Mitchell, clearly. But they then talk more to Carol, and they're asking about, like, what did she take previously, and she mentions that what her and her aunts took last time were a bunch of bank papers. The officers are asking, well, why would she be taking these things? How does this help her? And then she mentions that her husband didn't have an actual will. So the bank papers and all that she believes is for, like, inheritance stuff, like financial kind of gain. Which makes a lot of sense. Significantly more sense than Nicole's story.
Okay, how come it has Carol's name on it?
It was one that she had given me way back when to use for the kids.
Well, she's missing 2 laptops. That's what she said. So I'm taking this laptop. How about this one? Okay, that one's got your name on it. Okay. That one will stay with your property, but I am taking this one.
That's fine.
Did you try shoving that backpack out and it didn't go out?
I want to answer your questions.
So one of them had Carol's name on it, and the other does seem to be actually hers. The state of Minnesota laptop right there. So she did, I guess, bring a laptop to this. My guess being she wanted to take Carol's laptop and upload things from it to hers, perhaps? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But it is very clear that she had some bad intentions. I don't think it was just to get some of her father's mementos. And in fact, she completely drops that narrative, by the way. After this arrest, this is the only time she tries making that claim. She then must have consulted with a lawyer or something, fucking called Saul, but Saul was too busy on Fent or something, because then she completely changes this story and goes with the narrative that she was actually only there to check on her stepmother's well-being because she cared so much. She just loves her so much and wanted to make sure she was okay.
Which is a felony, as well as possession of burglary tools. Mitchell was a Minnesota state senator at the time of her arrest and refused to resign after the incident. She accused her mother-in-law of suffering from paranoia about break-ins and senility. She also refused the release of the bodycam footage. After her arrest, she posted on social media changing her story that she claimed in the bodycam footage. Instead of saying she was there to take possession of her father's mementos, her social media post claims she was there to simply check on her stepmother due to her health issues, and she startled her, essentially putting the blame on the stepmother's medical problems.
Now, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on wellness checks here, but this seems like a really bad approach to checking on someone whom you believe to have declining mental health. To dress up like a burglar and then hide under their bed in the middle of the night unannounced, and then scaring the bejeebus out of them, then scurrying down to the basement while desperately trying to get through the window. I don't know, call me crazy, but it just doesn't really seem like the priority and the goal here with breaking into the house was just to make sure that your beloved stepmother was doing okay. I feel like if someone was wanting to check on me, they probably wouldn't bust into my fucking house in the middle of the night and hide under my bed, causing me to trip over them, still say nothing, by the way, and then just run away. I don't know, I wouldn't have that moment and be like, oh, thank God they checked on me. That wasn't a burglar, that was my best friend, no doubt, making sure that I'm doing okay. Ah, that's so sweet of them to stop by in their burglar costume in the middle of the night. What a crazy story to try and spin. There is no human being on the planet that would believe that. Like, her previous attempt with, like, getting her father's mementos, that makes sense if she had any of her father's mementos in her bag, which she didn't, apparently. So maybe that's why they tried this, because she couldn't, like, procure any of that. It clearly wasn't why she was there. So maybe the lawyer was like, if you try that, they're going to grill you on, well, why didn't you have the mementos? Whereas here, they can't tell you what you were actually there to do, I suppose. But you can definitely poke a hole in the logic of this. It makes no sense at all. She didn't check on Carol's health or anything. And if she was there to do that, why is she dressed like a burglar? Like, there are just so many obvious flaws with it. Though now I'm really playing with this thought experiment here, like how you'd possibly argue this. I guess maybe something you could squeak out is be like, oh, well, I thought Carol liked burglars. You know how some people really like clowns, you like clap at clowns, makes them laugh, makes them feel better? I thought Carol would feel better if I dressed like a burglar. I always thought she was a big fan of that get-up. I misunderstood, I'm sorry, but I really was there to check on her health. Like, I don't know, like, maybe you could try that?
This, however, doesn't line up with the fact that she was wearing the most cliché burglar outfit she possibly could have. She then put out a statement saying she has no intention of resigning from her seat in the Senate. However, in mid-July 2025, things took an unexpected turn for her.
New today, a Minnesota state senator found guilty of burglarizing her stepmother's home has officially resigned. She testified during her trial she was checking on her stepmom, not stealing from her. A jury disagreed, finding her guilty.
According to Midwest Safety, her sentencing is on the 10th, but she was found guilty of the burglary. I think we can say with confidence probably one of the most unskilled burglars the video camera footage has ever captured. Like, this is Three Stooges level. So, yeah, that's really about it. So, yeah. I learned about an extremely degenerate cop today that had a video surface with his behavior that's probably more embarrassing to the department than that cop that started going like G.I. Joe mode and just mag dumping after an acorn fell on his squad car. Officer Anthony Hare of the San Diego Pussy Department found himself in hot water after he was caught red-handed in the back seat with a female arrestee after she said she was down to fuck. So, one can infer from the context here that they weren't back there playing any Magic the Gathering. They weren't having themselves a commander night. There was sin and semen that contaminated the vehicle. He laid down more than justice that night. He's since resigned, but you can scrub away the cum, but you can't scrub the video footage because it has surfaced. Not of him actually, you know, doing the dirty deeds here, but of him being caught because he locked himself in the back seat and thus needed assistance. And speaking of assistance, I bet you need help drinking beverages in a better way. That's what this Moist Gamersup's Waifu Collab Cup is all about. It's still available for about 1 more week, so go ahead and get this puppy right now. It's the finest goblet you'll ever drink out of. I'll put a link to it in the description. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you the video here as we go over the more particular elements of the case. So there was an officer in San Diego. Here, I'll just play the video. You don't even need to read the breakdown. I'll just show you the video real quick.
Oh, you're not. Don't say that right now. No, I said don't say that right now because everything's being recorded right now.
So this opened my eyes to a problem that I talked about a lot. That cops have full control over when they can stop recording something. So he mentions right there, this woman's like, I'm super down to fuck. And Anthony, he's pitching a tent. He's like, oh. And he's like, wait, don't say anything because this is still recording right now. He hasn't had a chance to turn it off. But he does. He does get that chance.
What's going on?
So then he takes her down here, and then they slam ham, and he gets locked in the back seat of the car. So he pulls over here. He and this woman, they do the hanky-panky in the back seat of the police cruiser, and Goober's stuck. So then another officer gets to the scene to free him. In front of a house. Yeah, that was another thing. The place he pulls in front of is just a fucking house. Like, imagine, like, you see the police car pull up, you're like, oh god, what's happening out here? And then you see this officer fucking in the back seat of the car here. Like, he didn't even go anywhere secluded or anything. He literally just slabs up in front of this house. I also just learned a little, I guess a little hack here for police cars. You can open the back door with that. That's a little trick.
114 yellow. What code for? Everything just went wrong. Okay, hold on. Let me turn my camera off.
Isn't that fucking awful?
She's code 4? She's code 4. Okay. So yeah, let me turn this off real quick.
Wait. Before you confess to all of the awful shit you just did right here, let me turn off my camera. So that way there's no evidence. You turned off your camera, right? Okay, good. Just making sure. That's so dumb. If you can just turn it off whenever, it's so fucking stupid. Typically it was like, oh, the camera malfunctioned, but here it's just like, wait, let me turn this off. Like, what's the point? No, he got fired. Or resigned or whatever. His claim is that he was just checking on her and that everything went wrong. You can see him like saying like, everything just went wrong. I was just being such a gentle sir. I went back there to make sure everything was okay. You know, I moonlight as a gynecologist, and she was having a medical emergency with throbbing pussy syndrome, and I went back there, and one thing leads to another. I'm stuck in the back seat, and now you're probably getting the wrong idea about what happened here. It was totally professional. The semen was there earlier from a different suspect. You should have seen this fucking maniac. This degenerate was jerking off in the back seat and fucking blowing loads all over the place. It's not my semen. And if you can trace it to me, it's because it's because he got some of my hair. He got some of my DNA. Oh, he was looking for contraband. So true. Keeping the streets safe. I was back there purely to make sure there were no drugs. She obviously planted the evidence on his belt. Now, the official explanation here from the source itself, Mr. Anthony Hare, says that he went back there because he believed that the woman was having a medical emergency. I'm actually inclined to believe Mr. Hare on this claim because I think there is a very high chance she was suffering a medical emergency. Cock withdrawals. This is a serious medical condition. In fact, it claimed the life of one of my buddy's grandmothers when we were growing up. She actually passed away from wiener withdrawals. If left unattended, the symptoms can be severe and even life-threatening. So Mr. Hare was just following his code to the letter. Protect and serve. Penis. And he didn't want to do it. Brother is a hero. He shouldn't be forced to resign over a misunderstanding. He should have been given the key to the city, I'd say. This whole thing is a classic example of it's not what it looks like, you know. He did what he had to do in the moment. And then, if we go back to the explanation, it all makes perfect sense. When he was getting out of the car, it accidentally knocked his body camera off, which is just a pure coincidence that the body camera, went dark after she had made the statement about being down to have sex, and after him mentioning that the body camera was recording things. It's just really just unfortunate timing that he happened to have knocked the body camera off and it went dark right after those things had been said. But it could happen to anybody. According to the other officer, Mr. Hare was pretty embarrassed, refusing to elaborate on exactly what was happening and why he needed him out there and why he was asking about like a master key to the vehicle and stuff like that. And the woman was also, interviewed by investigators, and she claimed that he had asked for her number and to meet up when she was released from jail, saying he wanted to get with me when I was done with the warrant or whatever I got arrested for. She told investigators there was never any sexual contact between her and Mr. Hare. Really? You sure about that? What happened? Was there ejaculation showers that night? Why did he have cum on him? Where was that? Did someone like drive by and like throw in a cum potion? Like, how did that happen if there was no sexual contact? But who am I to question the official story, I suppose? One thing I would like to see a little bit more elaboration on is why the officer who showed up told him to stop talking so he could turn off his body cam and they continue the conversation. That's a little weird, right? If it was all just like a big misunderstanding, wouldn't you want that on record so you could clear up all of the misconceptions about it? That just seems a little suspicious. I just think it's super dumb that at any point in time an officer can just turn off their body cam and that doesn't lead to a lot of questions about why. I don't know, that just rubs me the wrong way. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of it, really. I wonder how often this happens. Probably more often than you'd think, I would guess. You remember, I actually made a video on this one like a year ago. There was a cop who slabbed up in front of a school, I think it was a high school, and had a woman come into his police cruiser so they could fucking clap cheeks, so that way they could steam ham together in the back seat of his police cruiser in front of the school, and then he would kick her out. So they were like having an affair, and they do it in front of a school. So it probably happens a lot. In general, is it illegal to have sex in a car? That's a really good question. I'm gonna Google it. Because I think it would count as like public indecency or something, right? Wouldn't it, if you got caught? But like, you can have sex in a car in your garage or something. Like if it's on private property and not in public. Like, I think you just have to be out of view of the public. Generally, it is illegal to have sex in public if a reasonable person believes that someone will see them. Therefore, if you do not have reasonable expectation of privacy and you decide to have sex in your car, you could be brought up on criminal charges. Yeah. So you can if it's not in public view. So somewhere private. Which makes sense. Makes membership pricky. Though I like the idea that there's just a blanket illegality to it, like having sex in a car will have you in jail no matter where you do it. So like, you park your car in your garage, you fuck your wife or whatever, and then all of a sudden sirens are blaring like, get the fuck out! Get off the ground! We know what you just did here! You're going to the slammer! Having sex in a car! Have you no decency? If you fuck in your car in the garage, do you leave it running? Educational question. I guess it depends on how long you last. If you're a one-pump chump, you could probably get away with leaving your car on, but if you actually go for a while, like maybe there's a carbon monoxide risk, potentially. I don't know. I guess it depends on how long you do it. I would say you'd probably want to turn your car off just to be safe. You could at least leave the electrical on and have the air blowing. Probably don't need the whole car on. If you die mid-nut, will the semen that comes out still be viable? I don't see why not. Dine and dash is the act of eating a meal at a restaurant and leaving without paying. When I hear dine and dash being mentioned, I immediately go to the great Charles Doza, where he was arrested and then gave us one of the finest monologues ever recorded. This is democracy manifest. What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Get your hands off my penis! When that video went viral so many years ago, there was a ton of different rumors and stories surrounding it. It had this air of mysticism almost. It ranged from hyping him up as some kind of Gotham supervillain to him being an infamous dine and dashing culprit that they were finally apprehending. And for some reason, that always stuck with me. So when I think of Dine and Dash, he is who I picture in my head now. Even though that wasn't the truth of that situation there, it's still, for some reason, what has been locked in my noodle. So today when I saw a Bodycam video of a douchebag being arrested for Dine and Dashing, I couldn't help but just think about Charles Doza and how much cooler he was than this loser we're about to watch.
On August 16, 2022, officers responded to a report of a man leaving a restaurant without paying his bill.
Why are you asking for my ID?
Because you're being accused of a crime. I'm not saying that you're guilty, but I gotta get you identified.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
All right? Relax. Relax. Come over here.
So that's the gist of it. He's being accused of not paying his bill at a restaurant, so now he's got 1 star, and the cops are just casually coming up to him asking for his ID. This video is blown up over the last 12 hours, and every post about it says that this is a Wall Street Bets mod. I'm sure all of you have heard of that subreddit, Wall Street Bets. It's a very popular one, and I don't know if that's a true statement or not, but if this really is a mod on Wall Street Bets, that makes this situation even goofier, because this goober is the quintessential Reddit mod in real-life caricature, and good heavens, it couldn't be more fitting. It's exactly what you envision when you picture a mod interacting with other human beings in the real world.
I went over there to have happy hour. I had some food, and I day trade. I do option trading. I got a business major and I got an accounting, so I do day trading.
He randomly decides to mention that he's a day trader, does options like, yeehaw, woo, that's fucking awesome, this guy's amazing. It has nothing to do with anything. That is totally irrelevant to everything. It wouldn't matter if you're Michael Jordan. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't matter. You didn't pay your bill. You can't do that.
Were you by yourself?
Yes, by myself.
All right. How much did you eat? What did you buy?
No, it was only $70, bro.
$70 worth?
Yeah.
All right.
So.
God, his attitude is so insufferable. So he's laughing at, it was only $70, bro. I make that in a millisecond with my day trading and options because I am a Hustlers University graduate and I learned all about this kind of stuff, brother. Like, I was on Reddit the other day getting my financial advice as I usually do, and I'm making a killing right now. $70, that's nothing. This is a non-issue. He just doesn't understand, like, liquidity versus supply and demand. He doesn't understand the bell curve, the angle of azimuth.
I tried to pay with Apple Pay.
Okay.
And he said, like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't take Apple Pay. I was like, cool, I gave him my credit card. My credit card didn't go through. His face was really upset already. And I'm like, I tried to educate him. I'm like, listen, I don't have any liquidity with me because most of my capital is my investments. In banks, I don't have banks neither.
He sounds like me when I was back in high school thinking of excuses for why I didn't finish an assignment. Like just a bunch of nonsense mumbo jumbo. He goes through this long speech about why he can't pay for it because he doesn't believe in liquidity. You know, liquidity is a belief held by simpletons and he doesn't have anything in the bank. He'd be a damn fool to have anything in the bank, obviously. So he just can't pay for the food at all. He talks about how all of his money's in investments, which is turbo dope. I have no doubt in my mind this guy is investing epic swag style into the coolest Web3 projects. He's got tons of awesome coins. Like, I know he's crushing it. Big thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring this video. I've been working with the World of Warships team for quite some time to design some custom in-game content, so I'm a commander in the game now. I go by Chuck Blast on the seas out there, and I'm an absolute menace. The name of our ship is the Blastmaster. We sail under Chuck's flag, so I help design the assets, the camo, just kind of top to bottom. It looks like me, it sounds like me, because I do the voice acting for it. Dead on target. I'm, for all intents and purposes, engaged in war out there, and it's extremely fun. World of Warships is an amazing game that my father and I play together. He's been hard addicted for years, so it's really fun to watch him play as Chuck Blast. So there's new content released every month. There's so many ships to choose from: destroyers, battleships, aircraft carriers, cruisers, and you can play alone or in a division with friends. So you can use code Penguinz0 to get the mission to unlock me as your commander, Chuck Blast. You also get 7 days premium account time, 1.5 million credits, 500 doubloons, and the battleship Bayern. It's available for PC and consoles, and the code is for newly registered players, but existing players can acquire these items by purchasing my bundle or through the new internet's containers. So you can click the link in the description to get started. Thanks again, World of Warships.
Alright, okay. Do you have any means to pay that 70?
No. I want to sue them. I'm sorry.
But do you...
No. I'm sorry. You're asking the wrong question, sir. I'm so sorry.
You consume food, right?
Huh?
You consume food?
Hell yeah.
It's just something was off with this guy. He pitched this crazy fit, went nuts in here, threatening people. I'm talking about, like, went nuts at the bar.
I love that he's playing the victim here like this. Oh, actually, I want to sue them for thinking I couldn't pay 70 measly dollars. 70 clams? Oh, that's nothing. Of course I can pay that. I have no ways of paying that because all of my money's in these investments, but I obviously have $70, and, you know, I want to sue them now. Like, the delusion on this guy is incredible. I have no doubt that he was probably trying to barter with them at some point too, like, oh, actually, do you accept bonds here? I'd like to pay in some of these bonds. As you see, I'm an investor, so I don't really believe in liquidity. Okay, maybe not bonds. Do you accept Safe Moon here? No Safe Moon? Oh my god, you guys are so behind on the times. This is archaic. No Web3 capabilities here? Okay, how about, can I pay you in Cumrocket coin? Okay, I'm out of here. You won't accept Cumrocket coin? I was even going to leave a 200% tip. That's your fault now. $70 is nothing. That's literally no money at all. I fart and $70 comes out of my ass. It's not that I can't pay, it's that I'm not going to pay because you're not accepting real currency like my shit coins here. And apparently he was throwing a tantrum too, threatening people. What an unhinged lunatic.
Do you have a way to pay that bill now?
Correct. No, I don't have it now.
You can? All right.
No, I can't pay it. But I want to report the business.
All right, but listen.
Because it was a statement. Can I say this?
Walking away from my tab is
No, he kicked me out.
Yeah, I know, but you, because...
No.
All right. Hold on, Victor. No, you can't, Victor. You can't, because then you're going to go to jail.
No, I know.
Relax. Put your hand over here. Put yourself over here.
No, hands. No.
Put yourself over here.
Don't come with that, sir.
Weirdo NPC here is trying a very interesting technique of being as annoying as possible. I cut out a large chunk of it there because it was just him putting on this, like, drama club thespian troupe performance about being on camera and shit, just to be a nuisance. So I think what he's trying to do here is just be so bothersome to the officer that the officer loses interest. So he like de-aggroes the police officer by just being annoying, and the police officer just doesn't want to deal with the headache and leaves. I'm pretty sure that's what his strategy is, but luckily it doesn't work out.
You know, how late can we stay open? It might take him till 10 o'clock before he can pay his tab. He was on his computer. I mean, it was nuts. This guy is out there.
Oíste, si le falté respeto, excúsame, because I go through this racist stuff all the time, stereotyping. But today I was like, you know what? I'm tired of it.
I think this guy is just a real con man, and I think he's going to go from place to place.
Call Officer Leo.
Yeah.
He then tries to claim that it was racism here that led to this situation. So he's really going for every possible approach he can to weasel his way out of this. The business owner here is saying how he thinks he's a con man who just goes business to business pulling this stunt. And I think he's probably right. It feels like this isn't his first rodeo with dine and dashing. It feels like this is probably something he does pretty often.
I got the money to pay, and I was trying to pay.
All right, can you pay now?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to pay, so I want to sit down, have a water while I get my payment.
This guy must have the orb of confusion in his pockets right now, because he is spitting some stupid shit. He is on that moron potion right now. It's so confusing listening to him. He's lost in his own sauce. He's like, oh, I just wanted to have a water. I was going to pay. I can pay. I was planning on paying. I wanted to pay. I was going to pay. The officer says, well, can you pay now? And he goes, no. It's like, what the fuck?
Can I do that?
All right, the signal 20, I need to know if they want to press charges.
Yeah, because, yeah. No, I want to press charges, not them, me. Officer.
Andrade, can you answer me that question?
Charges, not them. I want to press charges to the restaurant, not to me.
I'm sorry?
We good.
Buddy starts spamming emotes now, and he's like, I actually want to sue them, not the other way around. Trying the Uno reverse card here. And I'd love to know how that lawsuit would go. I'm suing this restaurant because they're mad at me for not paying my bill. I fully planned on paying my bill, I just refused to. I even offered to give them an IOU. He didn't accept it. That's their fault, and they're mad at me? What the fuck? I did nothing wrong.
I'm so sorry. Estoy bien nervioso, man, because
all right, so if you have what do you have there that you can pay with? That you can pay the bill? What do you have here that you can pay the bill?
Right here, sir. My Robinhood account where I do day trading.
No, but you can't pay with that.
Yeah, so that's my only form of payment. That's not my problem. I'm trying to pay.
All right, hold on.
Thing. Yeah.
71 switching to...
He flashes his Robinhood account, which makes me believe he probably is a Wall Street Bets mod, because that's the starter pack. He's like, no, look, I could absolutely afford to pay. Look at my Robinhood account. And the officer's like, brother, you can't pay with that there. And he's like, I know. But look, it's right here. I can't pay, but look at this money here. This is where it all is. It's not my fault. What am I supposed to do about that?
Too.
I'm sorry, no, déjame callarme porque me siento tan mal because I'm questioning your This is so funny. You can't wait to see what's gonna happen. It's amazing.
His mannerisms, he's like going full Joker mode here. I'm the Joker, baby. This guy's just acting like he's some kind of weird, quirky goofball. He's like, you're not gonna want to miss what happens next. It's gonna be amazing what happens next. Gotham deserves a new class of day trader, and I'm gonna give it to him.
Póneselo, siéntate. Sit! 71 taser pointed.
I'm sitting down, guys. Look at this.
All right, put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
Put your hands behind your back.
Telling that I'm trying to pay my costs, and now he's arresting me.
Get up.
Things have escalated here, and he continues to try and say that he's attempting to pay his tab. He's also lobbying to the civilians around him like, look at what's happening. I don't understand what's going on. I was just telling the officer I was trying to pay my tab. I even showed him my Robinhood account. I was going to pay my tab with my imaginary money that I don't have. What do you mean? I don't know what's gone wrong. This injustice. I can't believe it.
I'm Republican too, and he's Spanish. It's a system. It sucks, mama. Why are you searching me?
Stop. You're under arrest.
Why? He's telling me I'm under arrest, but he's not telling me why. Office.
You're under arrest for theft.
For theft. Mira, theft. I was stealing.
Thank you for your quickness and your kindness. Can I get you a bottle of water here?
Oh.
Stay hydrated.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that.
The juxtaposition between these two officers' experiences is comical. One of them's having the worst day of their life, having to interact with this insufferable loser, and then the other one's just hanging out with the restaurant owner who's being extremely sweet and then just gives him water, and he's like, oh, well, thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Yes, don't delete the video, please. Thank you, Officer Hernandez. Thank you, man. I appreciate your service. Just don't delete the video.
I cut out a lot there. Things get very messy. It reaches this weird climax where this guy just starts going a little ballistic and wiggling around, which eventually ends with him getting taken to the ground and charged with resisting on top of already this. And now they've got him in the back of the patrol car and he's asking them not to delete the video, which I think he really should have asked them to delete the video. I don't know why he thought he'd come out of this looking like the good guy here. Everything you could do wrong, he did wrong many, many times. I'm honestly convinced that he must have been the diversion to a bigger scheme, like something out of Ocean's 11, where this guy was supposed to just occupy all of the police's time by just being as loud and over the top as possible to direct their attention all on him while his associates do crime elsewhere. So that way it'd keep the heat off of them and focus entirely on him. Because that's what it feels like. Out of nowhere, he just starts like yelling and screaming and trying to like get everyone's attention from the public around him too. And it just makes this huge hoopla, this massive song and dance out of this situation. So it really feels like he was the diversion in a movie for a bigger crime plot. It was weird.
I can pay the tab right now if you want. Like, it's no problem. And I can tip him the $100. No? And I know it was a miscommunication and I know you're gonna have to apologize to me, you know? And the owner is gonna have to apologize to me too.
You can't pay the tab by just flashing your Robinhood account at someone. It doesn't just beam the money quantumly into their cash register. You can't pay it. That's the whole root of the issue here. You were provided a service under the expectation that you would pay for the service you were provided, and you can't. Also, you apparently freaking out and throwing a massive tantrum in the restaurant probably didn't help things at all. I imagine if you were a bit more respectful about it, like, oh man, Apple Pay's not going through, my credit card's not swiping, something must really be wrong. I can afford to pay this, but maybe we'll need to think of another way of doing it, this and that. Like, if you were more respectful about it, I imagine this may have played out a little bit differently. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya.